What is going on, everybody? This is going to be another breakdown from the Madden 17 Club Series Championship. This was a quarterfinal round game between IB Strafing, who won the Minnesota Vikings Club Series, and LT, who won the Kansas City Chiefs Club Series. Um, so yeah, let's just get right into it. LT on defense with the Chiefs, Strafing on offense with the Vikings, Strafing in this gun tight offset tight end. LT in, it looks like nickel 245 type of look. I know he likes to send that nickel blitz pressure off the left edge. So let's jump right into the first drive here. Let me lower the commentator volume a little bit. All right. So first down, test the water with the inside zone, not an uncommon strategy. Second down here, second down and 7. Strafing goes to 5 wide. Now already, I'm not a huge fan of checking into 5 wide, and that's why. Not against that defense. If you know somebody wants to run nickel blitz, I wouldn't recommend checking into 5 wide. You're just not going to have the protection to pick it up in time. Maybe if they're running a more passive style defense in something like a 4-6 normal cover 2 invert, if they're more of a rush 3, rush 4 type of player, but not against that nickel blitzer like a dollar type of look, I wouldn't do that. But right there, 3rd and 7, you see Strafing hits that deep corner route against the 2 shell of LT. So LT's going to have to take that into account for future reference and know that Strafing has that in his arsenal. So 1st and 10, Strafing picks up a good first down right there on the ground. So Strafing moving down the field really, really easily right now. Checks into single back doubles. Pretty much call whatever he wants right here. Looks like he's going to go with an HB dive and take a big hit but pick up 4.
On a short gain on first down.
So let's see. 2nd and 6. Looks like Strafing's setting up a corner strike play. LT still giving that nickel look. Right here, nothing's open. I think his own. Oh, okay. So he took off right there. Was able to maneuver around LT's user. I really think his only read right here was Ricky Williams in the flat. That looked like the only guy who he could actually throw the ball to. Everything else, LT did a good job blocking the slant over the middle up. He's got the streak by the tight end manned up. It looks like he's got a cloud flat along with a man-to-man defender manned up on that X receiver running the C route, and then he's got a manned up defender on that wide receiver running the seam. So good D by LT. He only rushed 2 there, so not surprising he had good coverage on the back end. But 1st and 10, Strafing tunnels onto the high point streak right there. That's what a lot of people love to do. I mean, anytime you get into the red zone against someone who's running this tight offset tight end, they'll almost always go for the play action and try to hit a high point either to the seam route or they'll run this corner route and try to high point one of those two. Strafing in this case actually tunneled on this high point streak. He actually had a slant route over the middle that he probably would have walked into the end zone. As you see here, LT sends the pressure. Strafing does a good job of picking it up. LT's user is pretty much in no man's land here. He's got to trust that he's got a manned up defender on this seam streak, and he's also got a manned up defender on this corner route. Those are the 2 routes that people are going to want to high point to. He's got to trust that his manned up defenders are going to do their job and break up the pass. So he's got a user anything over the middle. His user is really covering nothing here, and as you see right here, Strafing's got this B receiver, Chad Johnson, wide open over the middle. He would have walked into the end zone, but instead Strafing tunneled onto the streak route, threw it, and it was able to get broken up. So mystery by Strafing, good D by LT to identify the formation, know what the tendencies are, and go ahead and make the proper adjustments to shut the play down. So 2nd and 10, Strafing still in that gun tight offset tight end, motions out the running back. And I didn't like this play from Strafing really. LT makes a good user play and picks it off. The problem I have with this play is this pass right here. Well, the route itself, that dragon route in the back of the end zone, it's like basically this year's speed out or speed in route. The problem is that route's really good to high point, but it's got to be in the back of the end zone. That's where it gets really tender, and you're able to find the openings in those zone coverages. I don't like it being run, you know, you can see right there, the route's on the screen. He's cutting across the field at about the 2-yard line. So he's just not deep enough. He just doesn't get the depth. And because he doesn't get the depth, LT's able to just turn around and easily undercut it. Even if, well, if LT wasn't there, he Moss probably would have came down with it because that is a man-beating route, and it looked like LT wasn't man-to-man. So Strafing probably would have caught it, but LT made the good user play. Um, I don't really love the route, but good user by LT. So LT comes out in his gun split close. He ran this basically the entire time at Kansas City, the Kansas City Club Series. Pretty much nobody could stop it. Almost all he did was run, fullback inside and throw flat routes, and he won the Club Series. So he knows well, you know what he likes to do. I'm sure Strafing knows what he likes to do. He's very effective at what he likes to do. So it's just a matter of execution on Strafing's part to shut it down. Strafing on defense is very multiple. Runs a lot of 4-3 and 3-4. He's probably running Oakland's book if I had to guess. He likes this. He's in a 4-3 under look, it looks like right now. He also goes to 3-4 odd. He goes to 3-4 even looks. So very multiple, mixes up his coverage shells. Very hard to predict what he's doing on defense, which is something that's really cool since a lot of people will run those nickel blitzes and dollar DB fire 2 press, even 4-6 normal cover 2 invert, stuff like that, where you know what coverage they're in, but it's just a matter of picking up the pressure and making a good read. Whereas Strafing just hops around to a lot of different formations, a lot of different coverage shells, and uses that to confuse his opponents rather than just consistent pressure. So something really cool and something LT definitely has to try and adjust to. Right there, first down, LT goes fullback inside, picks up 5, it looked like. So second down, LT gun normal. Goes with the inside zone, Marcel Reese, picks up about 10. So LT loves running the ball. I'm sure Strafing knew this, and that's definitely something he's got to look to take away from LT, since he's definitely a run-oriented defensive type of player. First and 10 here. LT airs it out, makes a great read. Just a simple, basically a bench concept out of split close here. You see he runs his tight end, or his running back rather, Marcel Reese, out the backfield, and then he runs Terrence Williams on a corner route. And so it stretches. Strafing only had one flat defender. In this case, it was this man right here. And as you see from his angle, he was obviously in a hard flat, so he shoots out to cover the flat. LT recognizes this, delivers the corner route on perfect timing, and picks up 12. So great read right there, and that's something Strafing's going to have to keep in mind as the game goes on. First and 10 here, split close, fullback inside once again. And Strafing definitely had the defense for this fullback inside. It wasn't nearly as successful as it was in Kansas City for LT in this game against Strafing. So LT goes out, gun bunch, and I don't like this here from LT at all. He gets sacked, fumbled. Good defense by Strafing, gets the passive 4-man pass rush pressure. But if you're LT, you got to stick to what you do. And what he does best is he likes to throw these flat routes and just put together drives. You got to realize this guy's wide open. He's on a wheel route. He's going to come and he's going to run upfield. You got to realize if it was a hard flat, this man right here would be shooting down, but he's not shooting down. So there's no hard flat out here. This man's in a cloud flat. This wheel route's going to be open as he cuts upfield. You have to identify that. Deliver the ball. Make your read. You don't have to, it's second and 10. You don't have to make a big play. Take what the defense gives you. Make the right read. Who knows? Reese breaks a tackle. Strafing makes a user error, misses a tackle. Reese could pick up the first down. Even if he doesn't, worst case scenario, Reese probably picks up 8 or 9. So that was definitely the read. And then he had another read. You have to throw this route right now. You can't, this motion out slant route, and this was a recurring theme throughout this game. He was late on this route almost every time he wanted to throw it. You throw it right now. It's wide open. This is why you run the route. Strafing takes the tight end. Strafing's user player gets distracted by the tight end. So Strafing runs with the tight end. This man right here was pulled deep by this A route right here. The post route he ran this was PA post. So he got pulled deep by that A route. So this slant route cuts in right under it. This is where you have to throw the ball. So you have two guys who are open right now. As you see on the left side, you got Marcel Reese open in the flat, B receiver, open underneath, and he just doesn't make a read. I don't know what route he was. He had to be tunneled on a route. My guess, he was tunneled on that A route, and he just missed both of his open reads and ends up paying for it with the sack fumble. So something LT just got to get better at there. And then Strafing comes out, gun title set tight end, goes to the play action play and hits that deep corner route that he hit on his first drive for a touchdown. So that's something LT's got to adjust to. Either you have to man up that guy who's going to be running that deep corner route, that'll take it away, or you have to be more multiple in your defensive shells, run some buck slant, run some cover four, mix it up so that Strafing can't just say, okay, well, I know he's in nickel blitz, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this route every down. So LT comes back out, now down 7-0, runs the ball. Got to stick to the run here. That's what he does best. Split close. And he gets baited by Strafing. So this is kind of another case of, LT getting predictable and being late on reads. Or not even late. Right here, this was just predictable. Obviously, LT ran this play on his first drive and ended up hitting this X receiver. The X receiver is the right read in this case because you see Strafing's got this guy. It looks like he's manned up on this halfback here. And hypothetically, if Strafing wasn't using anybody, yes, this corner out would be open. But you have to identify and say, okay, where's Strafing's user at? Oh, Strafing's user is right here running at this corner out. I probably shouldn't throw that. So then you look to the right side. I don't know what his route concepts on the right side were, but I can tell you right now, somebody was breaking open because Strafing has this guy manned up. He's got two receivers here. One's probably maybe running like a corner route, and then the other's probably cutting over the middle of the field, and you only have one defender out there. So somebody's going to break open if he's just patient. Strafing's rushing 5. Granted, this guy looks like he will be coming off the edge here, but you have to step up in the pocket and deliver a ball to the right side of the field. At this point, both your left side reads are covered up. You can't throw the flats, and you can't throw straight at Strafing. And that's exactly what LT does here. He throws straight at Strafing. And as you can see right here, it looks like Paul Krause. He's got that out of position Paul Krause. It looks like he's positioning to run a speed in route over the middle of the field. So if he waits another half a second, steps up in the pocket, and delivers that ball, that's going to be wide open for him. But instead, he just disrespects Strafing's user, throws it right at him. Anthony Barr picks it off for a touchdown. And this was kind of a recurring theme. LT likes to run the ball and hit the flats. That's what he's comfortable doing. Strafing, a lot of times he was willing to give up the flats, but in those clutch scenarios where, LT needed a play to stay on the field or to make something happen, and Strafing took away the flats, LT showed time and time again that he just wasn't able to make the reads over the middle of the field. When it wasn't a simple, condensed, high-low read on a flat defender, LT just wasn't able to make the reads, and that's really what hurt him throughout this game. So 2nd and 12, down 14. You got to make something happen. You don't have to go for it all here. You can still play your game, run the ball. You just have to be smarter with your reads. Strafing, you see, swishes out to this 3-4 defense. LT throws the flat. You get lit up. You get 4 yards. That's probably the worst case scenario, throwing that flat route there. He kind of got a bad animation. Reese started stumbling. He gets lit up, but it's still better than nothing. And right here, Strafing started doing this at about this point in the game. You see he's in 3-4, and he's hovering his defender right in this gap. So this should be a clear tell to LT that, Strafing, anytime someone's hovering like that, they probably want to send pressure. Where's the most logical place they're probably going to send pressure from? Well, it looks like a decent overload is set up on this side right here with this pressure. If Strafing's able to occupy a lineman and you get 3 rushers off the side, and you get that outside linebacker free. So LT needs to recognize this and either make a protection change in sense of blocking Travis Kelce on that side, or you might have to motion Marcel Reese from left to right and block him to pick up the protection. Do something to deter that. You can't just let an outside linebacker come screaming at you for free every play. Right there, he's able to pick it up with 5, hits the wheel route, and picks up 10. That's all you got to do. You see, that's the read right there. He makes that read. He makes that read last drive, or on the first drive rather, instead of, double clutching in the pocket and trying to find a deep route. He makes that read and he doesn't get a sack fumble and give the ball right back to Strafing after he picked him off. So LT comes back, fullback inside, locked up once again. Strafing definitely has the defense for that play. So 2nd and 8, gun normal. Strafing in 3-4. Play fake, and he hits the route underneath and picks up a yard. So as you can see, just from watching early on in this game, a lot of LT's reads are short, either the flats or over the middle of the field, in the short area of the field. You can tell he's not very comfortable going deep whenever he has to, either test somebody's user or make a read downfield against zone coverage or manned up coverage, whatever it be. Right there, he throws a wheel route, kind of late, but Kelsey was able to come down with it. So 1st and 10, goes into gun wide trips here. Inside zone, Marcel Reese picks up about 6. So that's good. Driving down the field, you're almost in field goal range. You'd like to get a touchdown here, but you're putting together a good drive, and that's all you need to do. So he goes out to gun doubles here, inside zone. Reese gets lit up for no gain. So 3rd and 4 here, what do? If you're strafing, I'm taking away the flats and making them make a read over the middle of the field. If you're LT, you should know that strafing probably wants to take away the flats, and so that you're probably going to have to make a read over the middle of the field, and that's exactly what he does. Good job right there. Strafing, as I said, took away the flat right here. Had a guy manned up, it looks like, on the guy running the flat. LT ran 4 verts, so he's got streak, deep cross. Looks like Strafing had to use the deep cross initially, and then was able to actually peel off and come down onto that delayed route out the backfield by Marcel Reese. Good awareness right here from LT to know that he had to roll out to give Marcel Reese time to release out the backfield and deliver the throw. So I like that play right there from LT. Good awareness, good pocket presence, good presence of mind right there. So 1st and 10, you're in field goal range, gun doubles. Goes into split close, fullback inside, and picks up a yard or two. Split close, goes into bunch, goes back to split close, Strafing in the 3-4 look once again. That signals pressure off that right edge. LT goes back to gun bunch. I'd like to see him block a tight end or block a running back and motion him over here. He doesn't. He blocks nobody and throws a late delayed slant to Paul Krause. Strafing picks it off and takes it to the house. So once again here, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. He's just slightly disrespectful with his pass protection here. He only blocks 5. Strafing sends the edge blitz. Blitzer gets off the edge for free here. Strafing picks up the left side flat corner combo that LT loves to throw. He's got manned up on the running back. He's got a cloud flat sitting out here for this C route. So that C route's not going to get open. And then all he's got to worry about, he syncs with this tight end route at the beginning of the play. As you see right now, he's peeling off and clamping down onto this delayed slant. LT, not enough time for this A route right here to develop. This route's going to cut back over the middle, but just not enough time to let that develop. And LT throws this ball on time, but this time now it's a bad read. So granted, he didn't really have a read right there, and it was a product of, him not picking up the blitz. That's what happens when a guy screams off the edge for free. You might not have time for your routes to progress. So LT needs to recognize when Strafing's in that defensive look and either block the tight end if he's in gun bunch or block a running back and slide him over there. If he's in split close, he's got a little more protection with both backs in the backfield. You have a little more liberty, but you have to recognize when Strafing's in that type of 3-4 pressure look off the right edge. So LT here, 2nd and 7, split close. I would snap the ball before the 2-minute warning here if I were him. And he's not going to. So gun tight doubles on. Strafing pressure off the right edge. LT hits the flat for 2. So gun split close right here. Strafing, hovering, sends 4. LT, nice read over the middle right there. So, Strafing looks like he was in a 3 deep shell. Strafing, good job by LT. Strafing shot out here. Kind of usered nobody. Well, I'm not going to say usered nobody because it looks like this guy was not in a hard flat. So if LT wanted to, he could have thrown this this wheel route on rhythm, and Strafing would have been there, because that's probably the right move actually from Strafing, because that's what I would have expected LT to want to do is first read. Okay, is there a hard flat? No, just throw it. So I actually don't mind Strafing um, bolting out to that route. But good read by LT here. You have time in the pocket, clean pocket. You identify that Strafing's users bolting out to the sideline, so that leaves the middle of the field open. You've got this X receiver. It looks like it was HB Wheel here. So you have X receiver running the post. You have this B receiver cutting over the middle. Could have picked either one. Throws it to the post. Picks up a first down. So good read over the middle of the field right there by LT. 2nd and 7 here. Really need to score a touchdown before halftime. Really, really, really need to score a touchdown here before halftime. Pressure off the left edge. Gets free for Strafing. And LT not able to make a read in time. Didn't really have anything open, it looks like. Well, okay, he had once again, he had this wheel route right here open. If you wanted to throw it, Strafing did a good job. You can tell right here, he's got manned up right here, cloud flat right here, he's usering right here. So LT's only real read was that wheel route, but LT doesn't see it. I don't know where he was throwing the ball here. He might have been throwing it away. If he was throwing it to an actual receiver, this was probably going to be a pick. So it might have been a good thing that he got hit. So it looks like gun trio here. Goes with a levels type of play, hits Landry over the middle for 4 yards. So I don't mind that 4th and 3. Make it, more manageable than, 4th and 7 if you take a shot and it's incomplete. Gun bunch here, basically he just likes to run PA post almost every time it seems like, and that's exactly what he does again. And he throws that route again. When he comes to this, all Strafing has to do, Strafing knows, hey, all I've got to do, he's being disrespectful and not blocking off that right edge. And Strafing knows all I have to do, okay, this guy's going to come screaming free because he doesn't want to block a tight end or block a running back because he's so dependent on trying to throw this flat route out to the running back. So all I have to do is send pressure. He's not going to block his running back, so all I have to do is take away the running back. This C route doesn't even have time to develop, but he still has a cloud flat here to take it away. I just have to user the immediate middle of the field here to the tight end. This A route up here isn't going to have time to develop this post route. It's too long developing, not when you have a free rusher off the edge. And then this B route, yeah, you have to worry about it, but LT's so rushed to throw it because he doesn't have anybody in to pass protect that it's a really just rush throw. And in this case, Anthony Barr's sitting right there in the area, jumps it and picks it off. So it's the same thing every time for LT, and he's just not making adjustments. There's nothing much more to say about it than that. He's just not making adjustments to what Strafing's doing. So Strafing here could take a 4-possession lead, which would be insane at halftime. 1st and 10 at the 46. Clock running, tight offset, tight in. LT pressure off the left edge, comes screaming in. Sack for a 3-yard loss. So gun tight offset tight end, 2nd and 13. Strafing needs about 15 yards, I'd say, to feel comfortable in field goal range, depending on how good his kicker is. I'm not sure how good his kicker is. And that was a questionable read. Chad Johnson comes down with it in like triple coverage. Yeah, it was only one-on-one whenever he caught it, but the read right here would have been this shallow X crossing route right there that's wide open. That would have been the read, not that post route. But Chad Johnson coming down with it, puts him in field goal range. Tight offset tight end, motions Ricky Williams out left. Hits a flat route, goes out of bounds, picks up 2. So gun empty here. I think, yeah, this is a gun empty Saint. So Strafing's running the Saints playbook. It's the only playbook with tight offset tight end and this 5-wide formation. And Strafing makes a questionable read right there. He really was locked up. I didn't see anybody open right here. LT does a good job, user in the seam right here. He's got this man on the zig locked up. It looks like he's got man-to-man over here, and Strafing wasn't able to get any separation. He's got this man on this seam route locked up, manned up. And this guy's on a C route. He's going to cut, and LT does a good job of having a bracket coverage out there where he's got, this guy who's going to sink underneath and this guy who's going to sink over the top. So Strafing really had nothing. LT rushes 3. Clean pocket, but really good coverage on the back end right there, and LT forces Strafing into a bad read. So good D from LT to stand up and prevent it from becoming a 4-possession game at halftime. But he definitely has a lot of time to make, or a lot of points to make up in the second half. And judging on just how LT is as a player, it's going to be really hard for him to put up, 21 on Strafing, essentially 21 unanswered to get him back into the game here. So LT split close second half. Strafing locking up his reads. He has nothing right here. Strafing sends the pressure, sends it off the left edge here, but as you see, locked up right there, manned up. You got C route locked up, or not a C route, but a corner route locked up. You got on the right side. This might have been a hard flat right here. I'd have to see as the play develops. No, it was not. So that would have been the read. I mean, because this blitz, if LT was able to identify, okay, this blitz is coming in, I don't have time to throw anything else, I wouldn't have felt comfortable throwing this A route over here with Strafing's user right there. So you just have to check it down to Travis Kelce. But throwing it away is fine too, because if you throw it to Kelce, you might pick up 3 yards. So good heads up, good defense by Strafing sending that corner blitz, but then good heads up play by LT realizing that Strafing's corner had a clear path to him and throwing it away right there. Good read over the middle. Strafing went deep with the seam route, so LT checked it down underneath to the in route. So good read, I like that. Stretch him vertical. LT goes gun HB base, it looked like. Picked up 2. Gun split close here. Looks like HB wheel again. Hits the underneath flat route. Kind of unlucky animation there. He gets pushed backwards. Ends up only gaining 2. So gun split close here. Looks like he's going to try and run a trail play for the first time this game. And Strafing was pretty much all over it. That's the problem with the trail play kind of this year is like, well, the way LT ran it, Strafing, you user the shallow drag, and then when these routes cut over the middle, you peel off of the drag and come back. And so essentially, I mean, you can user both of these routes at the same time. I wouldn't feel comfortable throwing a pass to either of these guys if Strafing's in the vicinity. LT actually makes the good read, recognizes Strafing's peeling off, hits him underneath, but Landry's not able to hold on to it. He really, just by virtue of the route combo, nothing was really open. So gun bunch here. What does LT love to do? PA post. Looks like the same PA post setup. This time LT finally blocks a running back, which I'm proud he finally made that adjustment here. It looks like he's going to run some type of, it might have been verticals here. It looks like this is a streak route. He's got a drag route to the tight end here. It looks like this is going to be a deep crosser and then probably a delayed slant coming across the middle here. So that's what it is. And right here, you have to throw to Paul Krause. He threw that so late, and it almost got picked off. It should have been picked off. You throw this route right now. Like, you throw it right now. Strafing's using this A route. Strafing hasn't even turned around yet to come whip back to that slant route. So you throw it right now when Strafing's user is moving away. By the time he throws this, look when he throws this. Strafing's user, he's winding up to throw it. Strafing has already stopped and is moving back towards this route. And that was the problem all game for LT, was just anytime he made a read over the middle, he was just late on it. So 1st and 10, gun trio, hits the flat, good 9-yard gain. As you guys can see, like, Strafing was fine with giving up the flats. I mean, LT's like 10 of 19 right now, and probably 7 or 8 of those passes are the wheel routes out the backfield. But, which is fine, you know, if you're LT, I would take that all day. It's just you have to be prepared for when you can't just say, okay, I'm just going to throw this every time, and if he takes it away, I have no other reads. Like, whenever Strafing eventually takes it away, because you know he's going to, you have to be able to say, okay, I got him to allocate more players to that side of the field, because in order to take away that route combo, you have to have a hard flat and a cloud flat. So you say, okay, I got him to spend 2 resources over there, 2 different defenders having to guard the flats. So now I have to have some route combos to be able to stretch his user, because that's what a lot of players will do. They'll have hard flat, cloud flat on the outside, and then they're confident in their user to user anything over the middle. So now, because their user defender is the only player over the middle, you have to say, okay, now I have these route combos that can really stretch a user defender, whether it be high-low, whether it be crossing routes where they have to pick one and you just throw it to whichever one they don't pick. But you have to be prepared for that. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to throw these flat routes, and then when he takes it away, I have I have one play to go to, which is PA post at a gun bunch, and you know if Strafing users the slant route, I'm done for. And right there, that's another questionable read. He goes to this gun wide trips. You see again, he wants to throw this weak side flat corner combo with the wheel and then the C route, which Strafing does a good job here. He locks up the flat, and I think LT might have thrown the corner one time this entire game. So if you're Strafing, you got to know like LT wants to throw the flat route. Um, but I don't know what LT was looking at here. Strafing's sitting right here on this seam route. He's definitely in position to make a play. He turns. I guess he predicted. The only thing I think is that Strafing was going to sit down underneath this in route, but it's not what happened. Strafing goes with it, bats the ball in the air, and Paul Krause comes out and picks it off. So now Strafing up 21. He can just cruise at this point. It's cruise control time. Single back, doubles, HB dive. LT hasn't even, I mean, obviously this is obvious run situations here, but even LT's run defense hasn't looked spectacular so far this game. Strafing, play action, really didn't have anybody open here. LT, good defense here, only rushes 2, but as you can see, pretty much everything locked up here for Strafing. You got a streak, which is locked. LT does a good job usering, even though without his user, this Y route still would have been locked. You have the X route cutting over the middle, so Strafing's got double crossing routes. Looks like they're both locked. And then you had a post route going against the grain here, but it looks like LT did a good job of manning up that guy. And even if, if that man wasn't there, then yeah, Strafing would be able to deliver the ball right now. And over time, that guy might gain a little ground and lose his man defender, but then he's running straight into a deep safety. So good defense here from LT. Nothing open. Strafing tries to playmaker, but the pressure gets there. Good D from LT right there. Standing up 4th and 8. Strafing, pistol wide trips. I think this might be the first time all game he came out in this. And that wasn't a pretty play. Looks like he got a little antsy in the pocket there. As you can see, he like instantly starts rolling out and then makes a throw on the run while getting hit. Ricky Williams catches it and gets tackled. But he actually had it. Looks like LT came out in man-to-man. Because if you see, it's press coverage. This guy's manned up. This guy's manned up. And he ran smash here. So, and LT came out. I don't know what defensive formation this was exactly. But this is a linebacker. This man right here, that's a linebacker. So, from Strafing running smash, this guy right here is going to run this corner route. And if Strafing just chills in the pocket and throws that route on tempo, like as he's cutting right there, you could see he definitely had the outside positioning here. All he had to do was deliver a pass right there. It was first down. But Strafing got a little antsy in the pocket there and ends up throwing the ball away a little bit. Or, yeah, getting hit as he threw. So right here, LT back with the ball, still pretty bleak. Would have to score 21 points in a quarter, essentially, in a game where he hasn't really shown much offensive firepower. Right there, goes back to the wheel route, picks up 6 or 7. 4th and 1. Strafing in this look again, 3-4. If you're LT, you got to expect pressure off that right edge. You got to account for it. You're in gun split close. You can block Travis Kelce. You can motion a receiver and block him. If you're going to pass the ball, looks like he's going to, okay, fullback inside, and that is close. Did he get that? Okay, he got it. So fullback inside, picks up a yard, and gets the first down. So goes back 4 verticals, goes for the one-on-one with Paul Krause. At least try to swerve right there. But he just goes for an aggressive catch and gets batted down. So gun doubles here. Strafing gets a stop. This game is over. Good read by LT over the middle. That's what he needs to do. When Strafing, initially takes off with those seam routes to user him, LT needs to hit the underneath route that Strafing abandoned to go user the deeper routes. So back to gun bunch. Strafing, once again, in this look, in this defensive look right here with the the 3-4 pressure off the right edge look, I'd like to see LT block either a tight end or motion Reese over and block him. It looks like LT is going to go ahead and motion out Paul Krause and have him on the delayed slant. So I'd like to see him at least block Travis Kelce here. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Strafing actually doesn't send the pressure and almost comes underneath and picks the ball off. So once again, LT making a late read. You got to throw the ball right now, basically. You see Strafing coming over the middle. What else is he going to use there? It looks like Strafing's got this guy manned up. You know, this guy's running into the safety. This guy's running a wheel down the sideline. So Strafing's coming back over the middle. Strafing knows this guy's manned up, so the only person Strafing has to worry about is this guy. So Strafing's making a beeline. You got to throw it right now. Like, right now. Right now. Like, that's too late. Second and 10, wide trips. Strafing, same look on defense. The hover. Spreads his line this time, though. Picks up the pressure, hits the flat route. Picks up 5, it looked like. And LT makes a bad read right here. Strafing makes a good defensive play. I think LT thought Strafing sat for too long, but Strafing actually played it perfectly. He sat to try and occupy the lineman, and then as soon as the play fake was over, turned. And that's you gotta keep in mind who your opponent's user is. That's Anthony Barr. He's 6'5". You know, he's gonna make those long catches where you think he might be out of position. He's gonna make those plays over someone if they're using a Deion Buchanan or a Ryan Shazier who's only 6'1". You got to take into account Barr's 6'5", and Strafing just goes up and yicks it. And I'm pretty sure that seals it. I think Strafing just kind of runs the clock out for the rest of the game here. I think he just runs I-twins power row and ends up running the clock out. So let's see. Single back ace here. 3rd and 4. Needs a first down. HB dive. Gets it pretty easily there. Yeah, I-twin tight end. Power row picks up 9. Power row picks up 1. LT has no timeouts left. Power row picks up 3 or 4. Strafing chewing clock now. Picks up another first down. So yeah, that's ball game. So good game from both players. LT wise, Strafing played good or played well. I liked what he did on defense. Very multiple. Offensively, he looked fine. LT, his game plan, hypothetically, it will work. I like what he has as a foundation where he likes to run the ball and hit the flats, but he's got to get better at when players adapt to his game plan and are able to take away that run game and take away the flats. That's where he needs to get better at saying, okay, I made you defend what I wanted you to defend. Now I'm going to open you up because you're allocating extra resources to defend what I want to do. Now I'm going to make an adjustment to defend what you're leaving open. And that's just kind of the next step he needs to take. Definitely has potential to make that step. But that was a fun game to analyze, even though it ended up kind of getting out of hand. There was a lot to go into. Congrats to Strafing for moving on. And until next time, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this and it was a little bit helpful. And until next time, take it easy.